You already know what real focus feels like. That state where an hour disappears and you've done more than you normally do in a day. Clean, effortless, locked in, and then it stopped. Now you're sitting here, browser tabs open, phone face down but still present, trying to figure out why you can't get back there. You haven't lost your ability to focus. You've just refused to kill what's eating it. There are 5 things running in your system right now that need to die, and none of them are what you think they are. Most people treat focus like a skill to build. More coffee, better morning routines, another productivity app. That's not the problem. The real problem is subtraction, not addition. Your brain isn't under-equipped. It's overloaded with habits and mental postures you've never consciously chosen to keep. They're load-bearing structures in how you operate, which is exactly why removing them feels dangerous, like pulling a brick from a wall you're still standing in. I spent 2 years adding systems on top of those structures and wondering why nothing stuck. 5 things had to die before my focus became something I could rely on. You'll get those 5, not habits to build, but things to permanently end. By the time this is over, you'll have a name for what's actually wrong and a same-day decision to make. I'll also show you exactly where most people fall off and what the cost looks like if they do. One warning, the 5th one is the one most people refuse to give up. Keep that in mind. Number 1, the outcome rehearsal. It's also the most invisible. Before any task, you run a mental movie of what it'll look like when it's done. It feels like planning. It's not. Your brain generates a burst of anticipatory satisfaction from imagining completion, which quietly reduces your drive to actually get there. You've already finished the task in your head. Your motivation doesn't know the difference. Researcher Gabriele Oettingen found this pattern consistently across decades of studies on motivation and goal pursuit. Kill the mental preview. Define the work, not the outcome. Say, write 400 words, not finish the article. Process, not destination. Your drive stays intact. Completion becomes a real event, and the session has actual urgency. And for the first time, finishing something will feel earned, not like a second run of something you already imagined. But there's something even quieter killing your focus, something hiding behind a behavior you've convinced yourself is just being professional. Number 2, the availability posture. You've trained yourself to be reachable instantly, not because your job requires it, because social disapproval requires it. So you stay half open, always. One eye on the task, one ear on the door. Genuine focus requires psychological closure. You cannot build it while broadcasting availability around the clock. And I know what you're thinking. My situation is different. People actually need me. Maybe. But watch what happens when you test it. The world doesn't collapse. It adjusts. 90 minutes, once per day, genuinely unreachable. No exceptions. Make it non-negotiable. Make it known. The anxiety flips. The window becomes protected territory. That's one posture to kill. Here's an identity to kill with it, one you've probably been quietly proud of. Number 3, the multi-skilled myth. You believe your inability to commit to one thing is intellectual range. What you're actually running is a protection strategy. Depth is vulnerable. Breadth is safe. You can't fail at something you never fully committed to. Spreading attention across 5 half-finished things doesn't make you versatile. It makes you permanently preliminary. Name your one primary project for the next 90 days. Everything else becomes maintenance, not pursuit. Real progress becomes visible. That's what depth actually feels like. 3 dead. The next one will feel like an attack on something you've convinced yourself is healthy. Number 4. The recovery reward. After hard cognitive effort, you reach for your phone. A quick scroll to let your brain reset. It feels like rest. It's the opposite. When your brain goes quiet after focused work, that silence has a function. It's consolidating what you just did and stabilizing what you learned. Pouring a social feed into that gap keeps the brain in an activated state instead of letting it come down. You're not recovering. You're resetting the fuse. 10 minutes of deliberate boredom after every focus block. No phone, no content. A walk with no audio. Let your mind wander without steering it. Boredom stops being a problem to solve and becomes the sharpest reset you have. 4 dead. The last one is the one most people refuse to give up. Because it doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like self-knowledge. Here's the part where most people take a breath, feel briefly motivated, and then do nothing. Belief without a specific decision means nothing. In 2 to 3 weeks, the outcome rehearsal is back. The phone is back. You'll tell yourself you mostly changed. The people who don't relapse aren't more motivated. They made a specific decision on the same day they learned this. Number 5. The identity commentary. And this is the one that feels too much like self-awareness to kill. I'm bad at mornings. I can't focus for more than an hour. These aren't observations. They're decisions. Every time you repeat one, you re-elect it. Self-narration is not neutral. It's directive. You don't just describe who you are. You instruct yourself to remain that person. For 1 week, catch every self-description that limits your focus and treat it as a hypothesis. Ask yourself, is that a fact or a habit? Most of them are habits wearing the costume of self-knowledge. Your operating ceiling quietly rises, not because your biology changed, but because you stopped capping it with language. Here's what it costs if you don't. Close this video and change nothing, and you'll be in the same place in 3 years. Same fragmented attention. Same half-finished projects. Same story about needing the right conditions. Conditions don't create focus. Decisions do. But you already know which of these 5 is running hardest in your system. You knew it before I finished describing it. That recognition is the only material you need. You're not someone who can't focus. You're someone running a default setup you never chose and never audited. The capacity is already there. Subtract what's blocking it, and you don't become someone new. You become someone unobstructed. Today, 1 project, 90 days. 1 90-minute block tomorrow, phone off, and the 1 story you tell about why you can't focus. Write it down. Don't repeat it for 7 days. Now go remove it.